Aligning it to VGold will not only allow us to basically invest it and return so that other investors get the VGold, but also if we want, we can swap it and use it for other things. We'll be able to do that as well. So.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Valereum CEO Gary Cottle. Gary, very good to speak with you. You've announced the launch of VGold. What makes this product stand out in the growing tokenized gold market?
Hey, Stephen, thanks for having me on again. I guess the main thing, it's probably the only gold token that will pay a yield or a coupon, and it will be significant. So for those people that stake their tokens longer than a year, that will probably be between 10 and 15%. So it's not just it is a digital gold token, but it's also one that pays a significant yield.
I mean, you're receiving part of the coupon in VGOLD-CORE tokens. How should investors think about the value and liquidity of these assets?
Well, they'll be very liquid because they'll be fungible into cash and tether gold and other. So part of the appeal for us is actually swapping what is a bond that we've got at the moment, which we've been spending some time to try and repo it to get it to make it to be liquid to use it. Aligning it to VGold will not only allow us to basically invest it and return so that other investors get the VGold, but also if we want, we can swap it and use it for other things. We'll be able to do that as well. So it's a lot more versatile, it's a lot more flexible. The coupon's a lot higher. We obviously have to go through a process. It was actually my idea to basically swap our bond into VGOLD-CORE, which is the liquidity pool. And we've got to go through a verification process to make sure all the assets that sit behind that token have all been independently verified, and we'll be doing that in the next week or two.
How significant is the partnership with Quoreium in scaling your real-world asset tokenization platform?
They've been fundamental in helping us build VGold. I think it was a joint collaboration, and that's why we're proposing to align technology. They have a team, we have a team. They developed VGOLD-CORE. We have VGold, which we developed with the entire team. We had been discussing having a joint CTO for a while. We had been discussing doing a full-on merger, which we don't think makes sense at the moment because they're in different parts of the world, or I guess as we are a little bit. So aligning assets, one of the things they've offered us as a rev share, which was always going to be the tricky bit of how we extract value out of that tokenization process. So getting closer to them is pretty useful for what they bring to the table. It's also been quite interesting that we've got more deals that are gold deals that are not QGP gold deals. So it was the right decision to talk about revenue sharing because we had found several deals that otherwise we would have to annex over on one side and they wouldn't be sharing in those other than the degree of the company they own. So aligning interests and outcomes kind of makes sense. I can't see us doing a full-on merger with them purely because of the way people are scattered around the world. But it does take away a lot of the issues of the who bought what deal, what's the value in each deal, who originated it, who distributed it. It solves all of those issues for us. But it's big. The QGP guys have a number of assets they're bringing to the table. They are going to have an unregulated token called VGOLD-CORE, and they're going to use that as their liquidity tool. And they have already existing relationships with bullion houses and other people. So we bring different parts to the solution, right? So it's kind of a sum of the parts argument, I think, at the moment.
I mean, Gary, with the US listing flagged as the next milestone, what progress are you making and how important is that for future growth?
It was critical because it's my main objective, it's Jamie's main objective. We have done all of the legwork. I think the one thing we need to do is close a few trades. We have 6 or 7 trades in the funnel. So if we close any of those, we'll be making the listing. I couldn't say, I wouldn't even want to give a probability as to whether they're 10% or 90%, but the more trades we've got in the hopper, the more likely a good outcome. One thing has been made very, very clear for all of the people helping us, and we've done a lot of preparatory work, it is you can only go to a US exchange when you've got stable revenues. So this is the bit which I've mentioned to you guys before, right? We've got to build a business which has got transactions. We've got, obviously people know about the Coin GT, which is a big deal. We've got a few other tokenized deals, which are in the real estate space, which we'll be probably launching. So there's a diversification angle. So it's not all about VGOLD, but VGOLD is our path of release resistance to revenues.
Sounds you've got lots of irons in the fire at the moment, Gary. I hope you'll continue to keep us updated with your progress.
100%. Thank you very much for having me on at short notice, Stephen.
Very welcome. Gary Cottle, CEO of Valereum.